Hello, my name's Jason and welcome to another episode of me painting again. Yeah, we've got a new episode and we're going to be working on a painting of water. This is my image we're going to work on today. It is, if you can see that, we'll go to the other angle so I can see it a bit better. So it's an image of moving water, and the plan is to give you some tips on how to make a painting. That's it, we're just doing how to make a painting. No, we're going to be looking at moving water and how to create that illusion that you're creating a painting of moving water. And the first thing to notice in this picture is that the water isn't blue. It's got a sort of a greyish colour, and that's the one thing we always do when we want to paint water. We always paint it blue, but it's not always blue. A lot of the times, and a heck of a lot of the times, it's not blue. It's only blue if it's getting the blue reflection from the sky, or other reasons that I don't know. And but this water's moving, it's churning, so it's getting reflection, so all kinds of angles from the surrounding area. So it's not blue, it's sort of a greyish brown. It's getting the churning of the sand or the bits of rock and minerals in the water, and the surrounding area is reflecting on it, so it's got a greyish look. Well, that's what I think anyway. We'll see. So, what have we got on the palette? We've got some random colours in funny positions. We've got some Ivory Black, some Titanium White, Yellow Ochre, Burnt Umber, Viridian Green, and Ultramarine Blue. And the reason we've got this blob of colour in the middle it's because I forgot to press record on my new face cam and I started waffling on, and then the camera turned off and I was like, oh, what's going on? And I was like, oh, I didn't press record. Oops. So I mixed the colour without you knowing. I was recording to myself. Well, I wasn't recording, I was just talking to myself. Anyway, moving on. So this mixture of dullish green is a mixture of the Viridian Green, Burnt Umber, and Yellow Ochre, and a little bit of black as well. And then I've made this dark green for the background. On the board you can see these white outlines. These are very basic shapes of using the image for my idea. I've just blocked in little shapes of rocks that I like, that I want to put in. And of course, when you're using reference, you don't have to do it exact. And I've said this before, I harp on about it quite a lot, but you don't have to do an exact replica of what you've referenced. You're just using it as a basic idea, and then you can be creative as you want. Add someone in it if you want. If you wanted a mermaid in the water, you could, but you've got to use the surrounding area. What am I saying? I lost track of my thought now. Let's just throw paint on. Let's throw some paint on here. What was I trying to say? We'll think about that while we're painting. Yeah, I know what I was trying to say. If I was going to do a painting with a mermaid on one of the rocks, say, I'd be looking at the colours in the surrounding area and think that the skin of the mermaid is going to be affected by the colours of the rocks and the water and stuff. So I'd try and create colour harmony, thinking about that. I don't know if that makes any sense. Apologies if that makes no sense. Just throwing in some colour here, making this darker in the background. Because on the image it's quite dark back here, there's no light, and that'll help us because in the foreground it is very light, And what we can do is we can make a big spectacle of it. That should be good. I'm gonna go for a bigger brush, I think, so I can just fill that in. It's a good thing to remember to change your brush. Using bigger brushes when you want to block an area in. Because if you know what we tend to do, well, what I tend to do is I have a brush in my hand and I end up doing the whole painting with that one brush. Or a couple of brushes of the same sort of size, and I forget to change brushes, and then you can end up filling in big areas using dinky little brushes. Doing it for hours. Using your liner brush to fill in a whole sky. Oh, I've done that before. And then part of the way through I'm like, what am I doing? Why don't I change brushes? Oh, that's funny. Here we go, let's put some paint on. Just grabbing these colours. I might get a bit of blue in it as well. Why not? A bit of darkness. The amount of times I say darkness in a video must be my most popular word. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that so far. I might get a little bit of a yellow, other than yellow ochre. I'm thinking about it. As I start filling this in, I start thinking dangerous. Thinking about it. I like this area behind the rock. I'm going to get some more yellow ochre here. I'm sort of looking at, I get a bit of white as well. I'm looking at all the shapes. I don't know if this shows up on camera, but there's like a rectangle there. I've looked at the basic shape and then just chucked it in. This is my time to work things out, you see. I don't want to, when I'm using my what I did is I used a very thin white paint, used water and the white to create my colours. My paint, oh, I can't speak today. I'm trying to explain something and I can't speak. It's going to be a long lesson. So I mixed some white paint with water, and then I just drew in the quick shapes of what I saw and moved things around the way I like. So I quite like this triangle here, and this rock, the dark rock, I've moved it in a bit when it should really be a bit further out if you go by the image, and I moved it in a bit on purpose to make that a little bit more forceful that way. Just an idea. But it's good to think about what you want to show in your painting when you're doing it, because I seem to have lost my colour. There we go. I wanted a bit of cadmium yellow. Not a lot, just a little bit. I couldn't find it. And I'd put a book over it. My book of ideas. Ideas for future paintings. If you've got any ideas that you want to see painted, that you want to see me do a painting of, then put it in the comments. Every now and then when I'm thinking, what shall I paint? I don't know what to paint. I have a look in the comments. So I've just grabbed a bit of yellow on my brush. I might get a bit green actually. The cad yellow. I'm still using my dirty brush. bit of yellow there. So I've got a bit of hiccups going on. I'm trying to stop them. Just using brush strokes here to create an indication of some sort of a bush thing there. It's all quite dark back here though. And I want to keep it that way because it's not what I want to be a focus in this picture. It's in the background. Something I do quite a lot is I like use my paint like this in an area that I want brighter, and then after I've used most of it I'll come back to an area that I want a little bit of colouring but darker. Just sort of picking shapes out in the background to get rid of all this just blackness, just nothingness. Okay, sit back, have a look. Always sit back and have a look. Always, always, always. But we don't really know what's going on yet because we haven't got the whole painting finished. So we can't tell if it's working yet or not. So we carry on with what we got so far. Now I want this rock in. So here we go. Let's use a different brush. They're really nice, these brushes are. I love new brushes, it's exciting. So I'm getting some ivory black and white, making it grey. I want some brown in there as well. Might get a little bit of this dirty yellow ochre. Let's see what we've got. I just checked it on my picture, just put it next to it. It's not the same colour, but it's got a nice earthly colour to it. And this can be my main rock colour, so it's yellow, black and brown. Yellow, black and brown, so it's nice warm. It's like a nice warm grey. And this rock, it goes really dark, doesn't it, underneath? Let's get that shape a bit more prominently. Okay. It's the side of the rock. It's quite dark there. So that means the lighting must be coming this way. So let's follow that a little bit. Dark rock here as well. I'm sort of, every now and then I'll go into a little bit of the black as well. To get that dark shape. A good thing to do as well when you're using your darks, do the other areas as well at the same time. So I want this to be darker as well. So throw that colour in. Use the colour. Okay. Now we've got water going to splash up there. We can chuck that on top, so it won't matter too much. Oh, this rock is quite smooth. I'm going to use a bit of brown here as well. I just want to create this sort of shape there. Bit of the black. Do that, and then it's going to be a bit soft. Use my nice soft brush. I'm really liking using the soft brush at the moment. It gets me that sort of misty look, and then I can add brush strokes afterwards. Areas that I want more prominent, I can create it. Okay. Be nice to have a little dark spot there. Okay, let's not get too caught up with this rock, or this rock behind it. Interesting. Let's carry on. Brown, yellow, white, more brown. Change the flavour of the rocks if you wish. Got a light rock here. That's good. Bit of dark in that light for this one. And because this one's light, it should break away from this rock that's there. Just to make it a bit more obvious. We can do that. Just to send it away. Just grab a little dark and I want some light, not pure white, just something a little lighter just to go on there. And on the front of this rock. Okay. So, I'm getting the feeling that actually the light is right above us. So it's probably about 12 o'clock. So we can add a bit of light on this. One way of creating an additional shape in the rock is to have like a dark and then a light bit jutting out like that. Okay. These got some smaller rocks there, but I don't want to be changing my brush too much, so I'll just put in different shapes. Get different tones. Like maybe there's a rock there, like that. See how you can do that? You can't really see that one. And then I'm going to change the shape of this rock using the dark colour. And actually, this rock here would look quite good with a bit of this colour on it. something quite right there. There we go. See how that looks. Okay, I want a shape. It's going across. Like that. Yeah, it's alright. We'll keep moving. I'm going to get a little bit of blue with my colour. Because this rock over here has got a bit of a bluish look to it. If it's there, why not put it in? If you like it, put it in. I like a bit of blue. It's a nice shape, and that one behind. Just to, like I was saying, separate them. Use a bit of light. And then there's one in front. And then there's one behind that one. Thinking about the angles of the stone. Sitting back, having a look. What do I want to do? I want to darken areas on it. This area here. And there's one in front here. Okay, just wipe my brush on a paper towel. This brush is quite a good one for doing this because I don't need to keep. Oh, I split the paper towel while I was wiping my brush. It's gone straight through. Split the paper. Never mind. I use a wet wipe. I always have some wet wipes right next to me. So, where are we? Background rocks. Throw in a few of those. Just go into this dirty colour. This yellow ochre. Not quite. Too yellow. Yeah, that's alright. Just sort of grabbing a bit of colour, darken that area there, and that area there. Put another rock in there. Another one there. Wherever. You can just start indicating that there's a rock with a little bit of colour. Dark. 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 See that dark light, dark light. It's just so you can see a difference between all the rocks. That's all it is. Okay, let's have a look. I'm going to put a bit of light there. Dark there. Okay. Now, while I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, firstly I need to fill in these bits here, and there's some greenery and plants and bushes and stuff. But I'm thinking now, as I'm doing that, I'm thinking about my watercolour. Little bits of, they're just really indications of grassy stuff in here. Sometimes it's good to throw a bit of the colour in onto the rocks, because maybe there's algae growing on them. Use a little bit of the green. I do that quite a lot. Painting rocks. But anyway, this is giving us a good starting point. Now, what I want to think of is actually, just noticed, I want to get this rock in as well. The shape anyway. Right there. That one there. There's a few little rocks here and there as well, but when you've got a lot of time... Oh, that's way too bright. That's got a bit of water splashing up already. I haven't even started the water yet. Yeah, well, I'll leave that in. I need a bit of dark here. I'm just sort of looking at dark areas as well now. This is probably a little too light. Some rock there. Dark area here, over there. You can just about see a rock. And then there's a rock there as well, which I moved. I like that one there. And there's one there. And then grab some of this bluey colour. Can be our highlight. Because we don't want the highlight to be too bright, do we? Apologise if this is a bit quick. So I'm always conscious of the time. And I don't want to spend hours and hours and then you'll get bored. I just want to show you an idea and then you can do it. But this colour, this rock colour, is quite a good colour for the water. There's a bit of yellow in there. Let's put some of this in actually. Throwing a bit of yellow in there to give it a bit of a greenish tinge. It works quite well down here. I might just put the whole thing in and then I can add highlights afterwards. I do that sometimes, just put like a mid-tone in and then because I know here it's lighter, so I'll put a bit of white in. But you can see, just by doing this, I wasn't going to do this, but you can see it improves it. I'm thinking about that shape. Right, let's not do any more there yet. Don't want to get carried away. Getting a touch of blue. Blue, cold. Cool it down up here. So just throwing in the colour. I think it could be doing a bit darker up the back actually. throw some more blue in it. You see this blue in the water makes the water a bit colder. Water comes out of there. I need to make sure I'm saying that the water's coming from behind those rocks. Okay. So I've got the water, and it's coming down here. Over there. Somehow it's warmed up down here. And the artist has suddenly warmed things up. And he's added this. Throwing his paint on. Not really a care in the world. It's funny. It's funny because when you paint and or do any kind of art, you get so wrapped up in what you're doing. Everything else, you don't think about it. You don't think about money you owe. Money in general, you don't think about. You don't think about your job. You don't think about anything other than your painting, which is a good thing. Because if you have any worries and you need to turn your mind off a little bit away from those worries, then get the paints out, do a painting. I'm looking at this churning. I'm so looking forward to churning all that up. But I'm trying to hold back. Just blocking the colours first. It's too much fun doing that bit. Can't do it yet. I've lost some of my colour there. I want to make sure that looks like a rock there. Just sit back and have a look. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. I could do a bit more Ivory Black. Remember, these videos that I make, they're just guides. They're just ideas, and there's lots of ways to do a painting. This is just one way, and I always expect you to do something better. I was looking at what that was behind my head, but it's on my screen on my camera. So I've lost a little bit of darkness there, so I'm going to put that in. I'll put some in there as well. Of course, here I lost some, so I'm going to put that in. Here it's quite dark, isn't it? And here it is. And here it is. So just throw in your colour wherever you need it. Yeah. Ooh. Didn't want to be doing that. That's okay. Alright with that. It's going to go darker as it comes out. Might get a bit of blue. Throw a bit of blue in there. There was me harping on about, oh, you don't have blue in the water. And there's me throwing blue in. I just mean like, you know, and I used to do it, throwing in like bright blue and then going there, that's my water. Yeah, when you start looking at reference, you start thinking, maybe I was wrong there. But then again, I don't like to use the word wrong. There is no wrong in art, is there? You don't look at a Picasso and say, well, that's wrong. You might think it's a little odd, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. Okay, so here we go. Let's just pause here and have a look at what I've got. So what I've got is I've got a knife on my palette that's reflecting light into my eyes. No. What I've got here is basic shapes blocked in. I've got rocks just blocked in, background stuff. We've got the shape of the water, darkness. This is the beginning. This is where you can go, well, do I want this more dark down here? No. Do I want more highlights on my rocks? Well, no, because then it'll make my rocks a spectacle. And I don't mean a pair of glasses. I mean it'll send your eyes to them, and I don't want that. But certain things I can go, well, I know what I do want is more dark under this rock here to make it more solid, a more solid structure, and this one here I want that to have a more solid structure. Get rid of that water. I didn't want that water there yet. And and yeah, so there you go. This is the point where I can look around the picture. Have I managed to keep colour harmony in? Yes. Am I going to use a bit of colour to send the eye somewhere? Not in this painting really, unless I was going to put a fairy on the rock there, and I might use some brighter colours and then your eye would go to it. Should I show you that as an example? Maybe we'll do that in another painting. I kind of want this one to be a little less fantasy, more normal. The normalness. Right, so grabbing some of this white mixed in with the watercolour, and I'm going to grab some yellow in it to warm it up. And now I've got to think water now. I've got to think like water running. So I've got water running and it's coming around here, and it's going to be coming into this bit. It's coming around there as well. It's coming into this bit as well. And around here, and one stroke. Let it splash down into there. And then I'm going to grab a bit more white. Just a bit more. And it's splashing in there. I'm going to use my brush like this. And give it some little splashes. Just churning. Just use my finger to get that underneath. And then it's coming over like this bit here. There's a little bit going. And it's, I'll leave those gaps because it helps to sell the idea. Water in there. Okay. Now I lost something then. Not my mind. I lost some shapes which I want to keep in. Got my dark ready just in case. on my little brush. I just really like those shapes then. Right there. I've got this rock here, but it doesn't really show, so I'll use some white there. And we've got water, it's coming down here as well, splashing along there. And it's going along there as well. So let's do that. It's coming along here and splashing there. Going along there, splash, splash, splash. Use my finger again just to soften that. Sit back. Yeah, I kind of want one going there. Right, as I looked from behind, ah yes, as I looked at the back of the painting, I worked out. Oh, that's my alarm. Yes, as I looked at the back of the painting, I worked out that it was all wrong. Now, when I sat back and had a look, I just saw something that I wanted to do, so that's why I always say, when most people, most artists say that they sit back and have a look, they can see what's going on then. So we've got this water coming down, it's churning up, churning around, splashing, it's rough, it's going over, and there's a rock there, so and doing sound effects is important. As you're roughing it up, roughing the water up, splashing. So I'm just tapping there, got a bit of paint on the bristles, pushed into the paint like that, just pushed in to get some paint on the end, and then I can tap. Thinking about that, and it's splashing up and down. It's really enjoyable, this is. I can't lie. It really is. This is what makes painting fun, when you're doing something a bit exciting like moving water. Get little bubbly things there. Leave that. I'm going to leave that because that creates that action, and then you can see it's all churning around there. Got this churning up here as well. Splashing. Oh, it splashed up against that rock. Get a bit more white just to spin my bristles, and then it's coming out. Using that sort of stroke, using those strokes creates loads of little holes in the water. I use that when I do like big rough seascapes. Use strokes like this, and then connect them together. You can create all those little waves. And then I can come and get some more white, get a little bit of yellow in it. And I want to try and pick some out. There's a bit of a splash going on here. Some more of the white there, just to make that a bit more obvious that that's coming down. It's coming down there. I'm kind of losing my original image now, because I'm kind of playing and doing my own thing. So like I was saying about reference, you don't have to like do exact things. You can change things up. Okay, sitting back, having a look. What does it need? I think now what I'll do, get a tiny bit of the yellow ochre, go into my white, and this can be my lightest highlight, and then I can start picking out areas, so where the light is brightest, so like here. I mean, it's still not white, it's got some yellow ochre in it, but I want to use areas to create like to exaggerate, to tell my story a little better by using my bright in only certain areas. See, it brings it a bit more to life then. If you use your lightest light in every area, then you find it doesn't work as well. How's that looking? Feels like it needs to be churned a bit more here. Use my finger just to create a line there. I want a line there. I've got this splash in there. There we go. Okay, sit back, have a look. I think I'm going to go into a smaller brush. I've done quite a lot with that brush. Getting a bit of yellow ochre in with that white again. I want to exaggerate some areas, and you can really go into detail in this. To bring that out there as well. I can have a bit of light there, and that can as well. My finger. I use my finger quite a lot, just to get rid of the stuff, mainly. I'm going to use this brush just to put some wiggles in down here. Nice to have like a bit of a see how that looks. Yeah, I want this shape here. There's like a shape coming down like that. Okay. Sit back, have a look. Yeah, there's something there I'd like. There, it needs to. Feels like it should be hitting something there. Don't like that. pick up some black and brown. If you don't like anything, you can just do this, paint it out. See, paint it out, start again. Maybe you can do it better a second time. That looks better actually. Yeah, that does look better. I want to create some little things that come off. Something else that I like doing, I'll show you this one. It's getting a long brush. This is actually a watercolour brush, but it works. Load it with colour, and then doing these little strokes. Then you're crossing them over, and you can create a lot of movement in your water. See that? See that movement that's starting to happen in the water? I like doing that. There's one last thing I'm going to do before. I'm just going to churn this up a bit here. Get some white and give that a bit of a that's really powering over there. One thing I'll say when you do this, it's really easy to overdo it, as you saw me doing. It's very easy to overdo it. I don't like the way that's going upwards. I'm going to grab some dark, a little bit of blue in it actually. I like the idea of a dark area. I can even darken some of this. Any areas that I don't like, I feel I've overdone, I can go back and stuff like that, you see, and then I can create that shape that was a little better shape. I prefer, yeah. So I think with a little bit of this white and this colour here, I might add a little highlight on this rock. And I can look around and maybe highlight some areas that I want. And I think we'll call this one finished. I hope you enjoyed this painting. It's oh yes, just that line. I just saw that line. I was like, oh, that would look good. I like that line there. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this painting. It shows you how to throw some paints together and do a little bit of a picture, and hope you had fun watching this one. I hope you had fun painting something like this, and I'll see you at another one. Thanks, cheers, bye.